and welcome to the tutorial on how I made my Ragyo Kiryuin light up wig. So we're going to start with some 70% isopropyl alcohol and some Sharpies in a variety of rainbow colors. Go ahead and pop out those ink wells and slice them open with an X-Acto knife. Be very careful and pour in enough alcohol just to kind of give yourself enough to cover the wig wefts that you'll insert later. I let them soak in these Glad Ziploc containers overnight, and then I added the wig wefts and allowed those to soak overnight as well. Once they have absorbed all the color, you're going to go ahead and take them out and rinse them in some cold water in your sink. Just be careful because this can stain if you have a ceramic or porcelain sink. I printed out a template online and traced it onto some EVA foam, heated it with a heat gun, and curved it to shape the form that I needed. Once that was all done, I got to work soldering. This is the first time I've ever soldered anything, so definitely a learning curve here. It wasn't the prettiest process, but I used 3 LED panels in each side of the wig, and so here's a process on how I joined up 2 of them. I originally was just going to do 2 lights, but it didn't go quite as bright as I wanted it to, and so I went in and added a 3rd LED light. It really was pretty simple, and you can find a lot of tutorials online, but basically you're just going to connect red to red, black to black. Alright, I basically just used some long speaker wire because I knew I was going to be running it through the back of my wig, down my dress to my hip, where I was going to be securing the battery panel. And for the battery pack, I just used a rechargeable 12-volt battery pack that I purchased from Amazon. I actually wound up getting 2 of them because I was afraid that it wouldn't last through the whole day, but it actually one lasted for the entire day with no problems whatsoever. And we're just going to test out the lights. Everything looks good. Alright, so then what I did was hot glued the LED panels into the wig shape that I have there. Just a big glop of glue on the back. And then I just wanted to make sure that I redirected all of the cords down the side because that was going to be going out back around the underneath the hole. And there you have it. Alright, so there you can see I added another 3rd panel, but then I grabbed some just packing material to use as a light diffuser. Otherwise, you were able to see each of the individual LED lights through the color gels, light gels that you'll see that I use later on. So I probably put about 4 or 5 layers of this on. It's very lightweight, and the 5 layers was basically perfect to diffuse the light. Alright, so here are my color gels. These were actually left project that was at work, and so they worked really well. If you don't have these color gels, you can actually just take some plexiglass and use those same rainbow Sharpies that we used to dye the wig to color in the plexiglass to help. You don't actually even have to do this. The wig fibers do retain some color, but I just wanted it to be a little bit more rainbow, a little bit more vibrant, and so I just went through and did your typical Roy G. Biv and traced and cut out the shapes that I was going to need to continue on up those little pieces. Ooh, so bright! Alright, so then I'm going to just take my hot glue and start gluing those colors all the way up. And you can see there, once the lights go on, that's what you'll get. What I did on the inside portion was just trace the inside of the EVA foam and cut myself a little panel that I just sewed into. I'm just going to be using contact cement to adhere them, but for now what I'm going to do is go through and take my colored wig wefts and start laying them using a spray adhesive across the colored gels and the LED lights. A tip for this, to make sure you don't have a lot of flyaways, just try to make sure you're using the full length of the wig wefts. I made this mistake and had to do a lot of like little adjustments to go back in and trim those flyaways, and I still wasn't even able to get them all. Keep kind of layering them in until you can't see those color gels underneath anymore. I keep the head part of the wig covered with a plastic bag just because that spray adhesive can get a little rascally and will get everywhere, so I didn't want the wig to clump up on itself. Alright, and we're pretty much done with that. You just want to continue to layer on until, like I said, you don't see those color gels anymore, and then we will continue on to the next step. Alright, so now I have gone ahead and contact cemented the EVA foam to its other half that has been sewed onto the wig, and I'm just going to go in and start shaping the edges that are on the wig. So a lot of people like to use different hair products. I personally just like tacky glue, like the blue glue that you see in the background there. It dries clear. It basically will dry pretty permanent. But there you go, you can kind of get an idea of what that looks like. So we're just gonna keep going, oh, sorry, apparently I didn't contact cement it on yet, but you can see right there, that's where I sewed that EVA foam. I'm going to apply contact cement to both sides, let that dry, and then stick them together. Alright, once that's all done, I need to go onto the back because I want this to look good from both sides, and just take those extra silver wefts and do the same process. So I'm going to cover the wig with my plastic bag so it doesn't get all gunked up, and then I'm going to go in with my regular silver wefts and just keep layering. So it's going to be extra wefts that I lay down, and then portions of the back of the wig to incorporate it so it looks like it's a seamless one just, you know, block of hair. Alright, now here I am going in with some craft glue and some more spray hair? Nope, that's not what it is. Spray glue, and just shaping the wig itself onto the back, but not wings. Okay, so I'm taking my little mud flap in the back here, the little mullet portion of the wig, to the side of the wig. I left a little bit of the back portion down just because I knew I'd have the wires coming out, and I wanted to make sure that that was covered, and so that worked out pretty well as too. Also. And the trimming process begins. So you can see the left side there is basically done. I've joined the front portions and the back portions of the wig, and then I'm just going to go through and trim those little flyaways that I wasn't able to contain with adding the wefts. You can see on the right side how I go in and attach and just kind of trim. So I'm going to, you know, just leave enough hair so that way I'm able to take the craft glue and just kind of sculpt it together. The good part about the craft, like the tacky glue, is that it doesn't dry super fast, but it does give you some tackiness, so that way you're able to keep those pieces of hair together, and they will stay pretty well glued together until the glue dries permanently. And my head's in the way. And that's basically it, guys. So here's the finished project. I am super proud of pushing myself a little bit further to do something that I've never done before. And I give you Ragyo herself, the Disco Milf. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.